buka. Alright, so thank you for attending. Yang FYP tu wajib lah kan. Thank you for postgraduate attending the sharing session that will be given by Dr. Liyana. Dr. Liyana is our lecturer, mainly on optimization, okay, her area of expertise. But today she will be sharing with us on Mendeley and a little bit of hands-on so that we can learn on how to use Mendeley more effectively. I think some of us have been using Mendeley, especially the postgraduates. I think some of the undergraduates also have tried. But sometimes we have problems when we want to cite them and put it in our thesis, right? So I think with this sharing, I hope those problems can be solved, and also if you have later at the end, we can have a question and answer session with Dr. Liyana. So without further ado, I will pass the session to Dr. Liyana to proceed.
Thank you, Dr. Razita. I hope you guys already download all the Mendeley Desktop, and then the Mendeley, open the Mendeley web, and also install the Word plugin for the Mendeley. Okay, so what is Mendeley? Mendeley is a reference manager software where we use it as a tool for our referencing and citation. So when we are doing any research, we must have a good literature review so that we have a gaps in our research, and then we will do the experimental and do the research. Then we need to have a good report or thesis or journal to publish our works. So that's where the Mendeley came in, where we have others reference manager software such as EndNote, Reference, and lots of manager software out there. But today we will discuss about Mendeley, which is one of the good reference manager software that you can use for your FYP and for your research for the PhD. And then for the Mendeley, what's the advantage is it's have the desktop base and also the web base. So all your data, all your when you put into your Mendeley desktop, when you access it using other tools such as manager desktop at other laptops, or you open it in just on using the web base, using the website, you will access all your documents and all your information. So that's what's make it is advantage during this era. Okay, so everyone already download the Mendeley, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so we start with how do we, because always remember, it's just a tools. So as I always mentioned during our previous class and previous session, so a tool is just a tool where it just assists us to accelerate the process. So now Mendeley will accelerate our referencing and citation. So first, let's open your Mendeley Desktop. So in your Mendeley Desktop, you will have like, you will see, I also already shared the screen. So you will see all the details where you can have the function of adding the files and adding the folders. So there are many ways to add files to your, where we call it to populate your database. So Mendeley will be your database for your referencing. So to populate your database, you have different methods. First, you can just drag and drop. For example, if you already have file in you have file already downloaded, so you can just click the okay, so you just click and drag. So when you click and drag, so it will automatically add it
to your database. So when you open it, as you can see, okay, so this one, you already, the one that I drag just now. So you can see that we have all the details about the files that we added. So this is the important part where you need to check all the details. So usually Mendeley can extract all the metadata from the journal correctly. But sometimes when you put the file where the authors didn't save the word file correctly based on the format, so it will make the Mendeley being not correctly extracting all the data. So that's where you need to check all the information, because the problem with the students when they use the tools for referencing is they just cite and do the bibliography. So just put all the references, and then all the data is not correct and they blame the tools. So what you need to do is you need to check all the data that that was put in the Mendeley is correct. For example, if you click on the file that you already drag and drop, so you can check either all the information is correct or not. So usually for the journal, it will be correct, but for others such as books, so that's when you need to be much more careful and make sure all the data is correct. Okay, so that's for the first part. You for the first option to put files. The second option is using the literature search. So you can see here we have the literature search. So this one, it will search using the Mendeley's catalog of academic literature. So for example, if we search municipal solid waste management. So as you can see, we have a lot of results for the what already we search. So there are tips to use the literature search, such as you want to see only certain authors, or you want to find certain years. So that will be given, that can be, you can find it on the website, or for the FYP it will be given later. So for the second option, for example, we take like okay, always remember take the current journal. Okay, so for example, we take this one is a book, so I don't want that book. Okay, so for example, do you have a question?
Sorry, doctor, I want to know how you, actually this one you mean you use as a, for example, like the search on the library, the same way we do? We can search here the topic and then find the journal, you mean?
Yes.
They are already inside our file. They should be inside our file.
Inside your file?
Yeah, I want to know, this one actually is a kind of the search, same as we do in the library, our library login we use and then search in the, for example, Scopus or anything. I want to know, is same as that one? That means we can just search the title and find the new articles and everything.
Yeah, you can find the journal here, and then you can see the abstract. And then for certain papers, you can directly download it. But usually that one will be using the web importer, because using the web importer, we can download it. But for your questions, you still need to use the Scopus, the IEEE to find all the papers. But this one is for your database.
Okay.
Meaning
yeah, thank you.
To find the paper from Scopus and then import it here.
Yes, that's using the first way. That's the first way. This one is the second way. So, for example, you already have like a paper, and then you want to find it, and then
because Doctor, already I'm using the Mendeley and just download. I'm going to our library, the UPM library, and I've downloaded
Okay.
one. And then when I put inside, make a folder, for example, for my case, is wastewater treatment, I'm just putting inside the file of the wastewater treatment, and
Yep.
then it just becomes sync with the Mendeley,
Yes.
same as here.
Yep. So
So
that's
that's
okay.
way I'm
So
doing.
you already advanced, so you will know how to utilize it later. So that one is the first way. So the first way is you just find it using the scopus and then drag and drop. Okay, so this is the second way to because what you need to remember when we are doing good literature review, we want to improve the population of our database because we want to read more and find more the more quality information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correctly. So this one is another way to find the journal.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the second way where you can utilize the literature research. So so just using any keywords and find you will have results of what you search, and then you can see the information, the abstract on the paper that you chose. So this is the second one, and then okay, so this is the second one, but this one usually we have a paper too. Okay. So for example, if you click at this, I click at this paper, green conversion of municipal solid waste. As you can see, this one, we have a view research catalog entry for this paper. So if you double click that, it will take you into the Mendeley website, and then you can view the PDF because it is an open access journal. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is the second way to add more more database for your to increase your population for your database. So you can download it, and then it will be in your database. So this is the second way. The third way is by using the web importer. So if you open the web Mendeley web importer. So if you open Mendeley web importer and sign in using your ID, because for now everyone should have an ID because you already download Mendeley Desktop. So here, if you search for solid waste, for example, then you will have a lot
Mana
of
tu
this.
Dr. Liyana?
Oh,
Doctor, we cannot see that.
cannot see because I open the you share search Mendeley. Okay, I always forgot this part. Okay, so can you see the Google Chrome?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start again.
Yes.
Okay, so you can search for Mendeley web importer. So you click into web importer for the Mendeley, and then just sign in using your ID for your Mendeley. And then here we have the access to the Mendeley library. So this one you can search, and it will search using the Mendeley library, and you can access all the open access. But for certain paper where we need to go through into UPM access, you still need to use the first option, first method. Is it clear? Okay, so let's go back to the Mendeley web. So Mendeley web, for example, we search for solid waste. So if you search on solid waste, it will find all the articles that contain this work in the Mendeley library. So here you can find, for example, you want to find this year only. So you can find this year, and then you can see that they have open access journal. And for the some journal where they don't have the open access, you need to go through into the UPM access. So for this one, you can, because it was Mendeley web, you can just add to the library. So if you add to the library, it will be
Directly to our
directly added into your Mendeley. So we need to go back to, so for example, this one, investigating municipal solid waste, Abdul Rado. So if we go back to the Mendeley, it should sync. We need to wait for a few minutes. Why it didn't add in library again? Okay, we need to make it sync. Okay, and it sync, and we go. Why it doesn't add it, but in my okay, if you open it in the Mendeley, if you view it in your library, it's supposed to be there, but I don't know why mine is not syncing yet. Okay, so okay, so it's sync. Okay, so 3:13. Why it's not syncing here?
Kena tekan cincin atas tu Kak.
Dah, it's already synced. I'm using the like email, right?
Ada button yang bulat kat atas tu.
Dah tekan. Sekejap. Lagi sekali.
Kat atas.
Okay, sync lagi sekali. Okay. So as you can, so everyone see my Mendeley Desktop, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So as you can see, when we add into our library, so the information, it will be extracted all the information that you click just now. So you can see, you need to check all the information, and this is where I said, like, for the students, always remember to check all the details before you click details are correct. So like for example, this paper, because this one is not being added, so we need to download it and then show. Okay, so if all the information is correct, just click details are correct. So that's for the third way into adding all the entries for the Mendeley. For the last one I want to share is, if we open the Chrome again, and then okay, so you guys already download the Mendeley plugin, Mendeley extension for your web. So Mendeley Web Importer, you can download it. So Mendeley Web Importer.
Rasa belum suruh.
Okay, so you open the Mendeley Web Importer and you need to download it. Mendeley, where is the Mendeley Web Importer? Okay, get Web Importer for Chrome, and then you add into your Chrome, and then it should have the Mendeley symbol like this. So it is Mendeley Web Importer. So this is useful when you want to cite it, for example, the website. For example, if SW Corp. So you want to cite it SW Corp. So you can have this address, for example, and then you can just click on the web importer and then add it into your library. So this is useful for if you want to add website into your library. So let's go back to the Mendeley desktop. So if we sync it, it should be okay. So as you can see here, it is a web page and we have the title, and then you need to add other things so that your data for your referencing, it will be correct. So that's the 4 ways for to populate your database. Okay, so any questions on the database population first? No questions? Okay, so that's for the into populate your database. So how you want to utilize your how you want to utilize using the Mendeley is for your writing is every paper that you have on the Mendeley desktop has has 3 functions. So for example, when you open in the Mendeley, it will, so for example, like we have this paper and then we open it and then you read through the paper and then you find some informations that that you want to use in your literature review. So every paper you can either highlight, you can add a note, and then you can copy. So how this is useful is you can copy the sentence and then put into the word before you paraphrase it. And it is useful when you want to add note and so that your literature review will be systematic. And so for example, like you already read in one paper informations on the solid waste. And then this paper said something about the recommendations. So for example, you highlight and you add a note. So you can add a note where this one will go through, will be in your section solid waste discussion. So you put notes and then you can put the details about maybe from the what is the recommendations. The recommendations is coming from a certain part of this paper. So you copy it. For example, you copy it and then you put into the notes. So when you want to see your literature review will be much more systematic and you can find all the data that you already read before. So that's how you can utilize on the writing. And then for the citations. So let's go to your word. So for the word, okay, so for open your word and you already download and add the Mendeley plugin. So for the word plugin, if we open it under references, so you can see that we have Mendeley function here where we can insert citation. And the best for the Mendeley is we have the style. So for the style, you can choose whatever formats that was asked by the university or the journal that you want to submit. So for example, if you want the APA 6th edition or you want the IEEE, so it depends on the publisher of the journal and the university, and you can choose it, and Mendeley will follow the format of the style that you chose. But if you want to, this one is the custom made, and if you want to put your own style, For example, there is your own style that you prefer. So, but that one is for, or you have the style that was not in the list. So you can add more styles. You can add more styles, and then okay, wait. So it go to this. So you can add more styles and then put your own styles. Okay, so how to cite? So if you want to cite, so for the citations, what I want to share is, usually for the citation we have two different ways to cite in the paragraph. So the first one is you can just put it. For example, I put this sentence. Okay, so we have this sentence and you want to cite it. So insert citation at the end. I don't remember what's the title just now. COVID-19. Okay, so if you put it, it will cite using the style that you chose. So this is the first way of citation. The second way is you put in the front and then say, for example. So okay, so this is for just for example. Okay, so when you have at the front, we don't use it directly like this. So what we need to do is we can edit this and then we enter it, and then Mendeley will ask either we want to keep the citation edit. So if we want to keep it, we just say yes, but this one still not correct. Okay, so for example, so this one is for how you want to cite it at the sentence. So you have two ways to cite it and how you want to merge it. So for example, like this paper, this discussion is coming from two different papers. For example, if you add one more, so we want to add one more. So for example, these two papers discuss about this sentence, and then you can just select both, and then you can just merge the citation. So the Mendeley will merge it for you. So that's for the merging. And the best thing about the Mendeley is it will insert all the bibliography for you. So your referencing will be much more easier. So it will organize it for you. So you can just put the references and then it will print out correspond to the order that's in the text. So that's for the citation in the Word.
Hello, Yana.
For the content, this is the one that I mentioned just now, where for some papers, they don't have the contents. The problem is where the writers doesn't follow the formats of using the headings, using the formats in the Word. So when Mendeley extract the data, they don't have they cannot extract the contents, and that's why some paper doesn't have the contents will be blank and don't have anything in it. So for some paper, you will find all the contents and can click and access the section that you want. Okay, good point, Atika. I forgot about that. Okay, so any other questions?
I have a question again on Mendeley Watch folder, because I think you didn't cover that part yet.
Mendeley which one?
Mendeley Watch folder.
Mendeley Watch. Mendeley folder.
I mean, when we manually download the articles from the web, it will
Okay.
automatically sync with our Mendeley when we add it to the Mendeley Watch folder.
Okay. Okay, so for Mendeley, so that part. Okay, so that part control D. Mendeley web folder, the function is control. Okay, I also. Okay, so for all the data that you download, it will be so it will be under the all documents, and then you can organize your paper by sorting it using different files. So for example, you make different files for your, depends on your research. So and then you can click and drag. For example, this paper, you can click and put it under for municipal solid waste, and then it will be appeared in the municipal solid waste in the
Sorry,
file.
how to make these folders? I have actually problem here making these folders, and I know there is a create folder we can actually put and create the folders, but I have a problem. I cannot transfer it. I don't know why, and I want to know, for example, some of the papers talking about the setup of the reactor, some of the paper talking about the type of the, for example, waste, and we want to separate them from each other. So actually I have the problem for making the folder and then put the folders in actually each paper related to that folder, put inside and then later use. I don't know how to do this.
Okay, so if you open, if I understood your question correctly. Okay, so if you want to make a folder, just create a folder, and then put all the create a folder, and then folder. Why it doesn't open for me? Okay, so create folder. For example, I open. Wait.
So first we should start from the top, right? Put the folder, adding the folder, and then here we should create the folder, new folder, and rename it, right?
Dr. Yana?
Okay, so
how we can add it to this structure now if you want to add, for example, one paper to here?
Okay, so if you want to add one paper to here, you can Okay, so you already download it, and then okay, so let's start. Let's go to the Mendeley importer because we can download it. Okay, so let's for example search one paper. Okay, so for example, why it's open? Okay, so for example, if we so if we search one paper, so what we can search? We can search machine learning, for example. Okay, so if you search machine learning and then you take, for example, in this paper this year, and then one paper, you can view the PDF. Okay, so if you download this, so for example, put in the download, and then you have one file. For example, workshop. Okay, so this is paper machine learning. Okay, so the paper machine learning you already download, you can open it.
In the Mendeley one.
Okay, so it's not open. Okay, so okay, so now you can see the file, and then you can just drag it into your Mendeley Desktop, into the folder that you want. So if you drag it, so it will be in the folder that you want, and then when you access it, so for access the details, so you can see that under the details, under the files, you can directly find where is the files. Is it in your laptop or not? So when you want to access it, so always remember that when you are opening the Mendeley, what Mendeley do is it store the data for all your database, but it didn't extract all the files. So if you have have the files in one desktop, and then you open it at another parts, so it has the details, but for it will not have the journal that you already downloaded. So is that clear?
Okay, I think it's clear, meaning that there's only one desktop that will actually store the PDF file, but the information of the PDF file can be of the paper can be accessed from other ways lah, another laptop or another. But is it stored in the system, in the internet,
Yes.
the full file, or does it stay in your desktop only?
In this desktop only.
Oh, okay. So if you open it from Google Chrome, you will not be able to have the full paper, correct?
Yes. So yeah. So that's where you need to integrate it with your Google Drive or Dropbox. So you okay, so you can because if you have Dropbox desktop and or the Google Drive desktop, so it will appear in your Mendeley and you can add everything in it. So, but I used to have it before, but now I don't use Dropbox anymore. So, so the Dropbox will appear under your under the My Library section, and then you will access it from there. So it will be easier for you because you can access Dropbox and Mendeley at anywhere and anytime.
If we using Google Drive, can it be also set together?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I read it before that Google Drive also has sync with the Mendeley, the current version. But you guys can explore it.
So okay, at this point you're not sure lah, but last time Dropbox is able to be synced.
Yes.
I'm sorry, who is MS? This person MS has given us tips, okay?
Yes.
Siapa MS ni? In order to see everywhere, click sync and then remove source PDF, then click on blue icon.
Yep. Because there is a lot of tricks that you can do with the Mendeley. But so you can explore more because today is just for starter so that you can know, and then Mendeley website is really useful. So make sure you utilize it.
All right. Should we ask for questions first, or do you have any more to share, Liyana?
No. I just have one advice. So make sure you guys because so Mendeley is always a tool. So always remember that. So I will give the advice at the end. So let's have a question first.
Okay. Anybody has any more questions regarding the software? Maybe undergraduate will have more questions later, but I think it's good for you to start off so that you don't have to fill in your Mendeley later, okay? Since you already opened the account and so on. So we can start from now. So during next semester, you don't have to do this manually. But if you are stuck, probably you can relook at the video that we are recording and we will share with you. But any other questions for now?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Rezi, Dr. Rizda, Dr. Liyana, thank you for conducting the seminar. To be honest, I never use Mendeley, by the way, but I just want to know when we publish a paper, right? Certain journal they have this abbreviation like I know chemistry material. They wrote it as chem matter, SCS applied material interface. They wrote it SCS ATTL. Matter interfaces. So how did you do that in Mendeley?
So you need to because when you have that one, you need to make sure you edit on the journal. So you edit the title, the journal title.
But okay.
Yeah. So that's why the details of the journals is useful because when you doing the referencing, so when you check it and then it's not tally with the formatting, so that's mean the data that you input in the details of the journal is not correct. So you can always go back to the Mendeley Desktop and edit all the details and sync it, and it will appear correctly based on what you put before in your Word.
All right, any more questions?
Excuse me, Doctor, I have a question.
Okay, proceed.
If Mendeley breakdown, can I open it in other device and got the same journals that I saved before?
Yes, that's where we discussed before. So if you put into you have the files. So for example, you have the files in the Dropbox. It will sync with the files in the Mendeley, and then you can access it anywhere. So if not, usually you guys can, usually when you are doing the research, make sure you save the data at different parts. For example, you have external hard disk, and then you have the cloud, you have using the G drive or using the Dropbox, and then you install, you save it in your desktop. So that you can have so make sure you save it using the same name so that you know where to access it later.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions, especially from the postgraduates?
Can we actually, sorry.
Yeah, proceed.
Sorry, that I want to know, is it possible if, for example, we search topic, for example, wastewater, and then Mendeley send us normally through the email or anything, any alert or everything, the new journal come and we can see this?
That's when you need to use the Mendeley also give you, if you opt in the newsletter, so it will based on your current based on your latest search, it will send you suggested journal for you to access.
So that means we cannot put any alerts for any new paper. Actually, we receive like Google can do that, right? Because the Google actually has this setup to put the alert, and then they actually normally they send the new paper when come up. They will actually send it through the information through the email, so I can receive. But about the Mendeley, I don't receive the new paper because for my master, I was using Mendeley. Now I'm using actually the Mendeley for my PhD. So, but my research project changed, and I want to put the alert on the new project.
Okay, but I got always got email from the Mendeley. So
maybe you can change some setting in your Mendeley account, I think, because I also received those.
Yeah, we received the alert.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we received the alert, and then maybe you can try to use ResearchGate, and then yeah, you can try to use ResearchGate. It's also useful.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor.
Welcome.
Okay, any other questions? Especially from postgraduates that's been using quite a long time.
I think they may be better than me because they use it now. Because I used it a lot before. Yep. Yes, Atika.
I have a suggestion about the watch folder that I mentioned previously. It's actually we must add the folder into our computer so that when we manually download any papers from the web, will be automatically synced with our Mendeley.
Okay. So would you like to, you can share it because I also don't remember the clicks anymore.
Dr. Nazita, can we pass the screen to Atika?
Yeah, I think anybody can share
It is useful for the beginners using Mendeley.
Okay. Dr. You unshare first, Dr. Liyana, and Tika can share the screen. I think there's no problem.
Yeah. So can I start sharing now?
Folder, click at the add here and select watch folder. So we usually set it under our downloads folder. Where is it? It's here. Then click OK. So whenever we download any article from the web, let's say, okay, let me just open my watch folder. Oh, sorry for that. So this is my watch folder. So whenever I download anything, any papers from the web, will be automatically added into my watch folder and will be automatically synced with my Mendeley. It means that we don't have to manually drag or click the add folder button here. So is it clear for everyone?
I think so, but it just go to all document, right? If you want to put it under certain folder, we have to drag it within Mendeley. This is Mendeley Desktop.
Yes. 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 Whenever we download any papers, it will be automatically added into that folder. If you want to change the destination for the folder, we must manually change the destination. So whenever we are downloading papers that we want to add to Mendeley, just don't change the destination. Let the destination be the watch folder. So you don't have to manually add your papers into the Mendeley. It will be automatically added here.
Does any PDF file be added to the Mendeley, or we can set?
Any PDF file?
For example,
sorry,
I'm searching from for my teaching, for example, right? So I get a PDF file and then I download it. So it goes into my downloaded file, download file. So are those papers also will be added to the Mendeley account that I have and Mendeley apps that I have?
You must create the watch folder first.
Yeah. If I already
create the watch folder, and then all the papers you download from the web will be automatically added into that folder.
So any PDF file will go in here lah. Betul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're downloading something that not related, that you don't want to add to the Mendeley, you must change the destination so that it won't be included in your Mendeley.
Okay.
Understood. Okay.
So that's some tips from me.
Okay, thank you for the sharing. I think I'm very new with Mendeley. My students actually taught me. Any postgraduates wanting to share as well your experience that's not being shared by Dr. Liyana? Because the purpose of this Mendeley is for our undergraduate. Even I have learned new things from Dr. Liyana. So we try not to have an advanced version of the sharing session. Any question or any sharing or tips that want to be given by anybody? No question from the FP. We have this as FB Live in our department FB. So if you miss, you can also watch it again in the FB. But we will try to update this. But it will take some time because we need to edit into the department's YouTube as well. Okay. So is last round, right? Is there any other questions from the students? No. Okay. So if there's no more questions, I would like to thank Dr. Liyana for her sharing session, and hopefully everybody benefit from her session. And inshallah in the future, if we have more sessions, especially for our postgraduates, we will definitely call you guys as well.
Could you please suggest actually a like seminar like this for review paper writing? Because actually we need that to. See, I have a lot of problem with the review paper writing, and I think if it could be, if other students also requested for that, if it's possible, please help us.
Well, I will pass the information to our PIC, okay, because we have PIC on that one. But I think things like that is useful. It's just that I think currently we have our class sessions, so a lot of lecturers are a bit busy. But last time, I think during the MCO, we had a lot sessions. But I will pass that information to our PIC. All right.
Thank you so much, Thank you for.
Welcome. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you again, Dr. Liyana. So I think we will end the session for today. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.